Hello there, everybody. What Culture Wrestling's Adam Clery here, joined on the sofa by Sylvie. Aye, that's what she's called now. How does that feel, you cuck? Anyway, we are fresh in the loosest possible sense of the word from watching WWE Fastlane 2019. How do you describe the indescribable? How do you collate the uncollatable? How do you lane the unfast-laneable? That has got to go down as one of the banter shows of the year, if not the decade, if not the millennium, if not all time. But we're going to go through the card because this is what went down. We're not going to do a fancy graphic because we want to get through it in 10 minutes. So we had the pre-show, which was... Hello, the hell of a pre-show. I said hello pre-show there for a second. That threw me right off. Wouldn't normally touch a pre-show, but it was so weird, and they took a match off it and then shoehorned it into another match, and then they set up the whole Kofi Kingston thing. So we'll just touch on it briefly. Kofi Kingston was called up backstage by... Did we know who that was? Goober #1, who said that the McMahons wanted a word with him about the main event that was going on tonight, the WWE Championship match. In fact, not actually the main event, but they wanted a word with him anyway. So he departs to go and do that while Big E and Xavier Woods go to face Shinsuke Nakamura, Rusev, and Christmas Lana, who for some reason is always still dressed like that. Now, we thought this was a really well-written match played out by 4 people who really could not be arsed being on the pre-show. In the end, the New Day lost. I can't even remember now. No, they won, didn't they? Yeah, they won. This is a good start. The New Day won. I think they pinned Rusev. And we're not really sure where any of these are going now because Big E and Kofi Kingston, Big E and Xavier Woods feel slightly separate now from Kofi. And Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura are just another meandering, lost tag team at the minute in the wastelands of the company's tag team division. Are any of them going to get a match at WrestleMania? Would you like to put a bet on that now? Or probably all in the Andre, yes, which is a shame given how much quality they've got in the tag division. But what do you do? Like, what do you do? Kofi's off doing the big storyline. There's nothing for Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura to do. It's just another example of how much talent they've got, how many fantastic, really over-lovable superstars they've got who just are directionless. There's nothing really going for them, but that was what it was, and we moved on to another tag team match. They opened... I do think this was a weird choice to open with, by the way. Usos versus Shane and Miz. It kind of felt like a middle of a card sort of thing, especially where they went for this. But anyway, the Usos defending their not too long ago won SmackDown Tag Team Championships against the team of the best in the world, The Miz and Shane McMahon. Now, the only question here was, whose turn? Now, hands up. I'm joined by the gentleman in the studio, by the way. Who had Shane for this, honestly? Adam Nicholas, very smugly there. Oh, no! That's going to be terrible. Yeah. Shane's turned heel. They lost the match. There was the usual inquest. Miz was the one who got pinned. There was a roll-up after he did. Bizarrely took advice from his dad in the crowd to do a 5-star frog splash and then did it, which was kind of like a DX cross-chop in midair, but then landed on his feet and then fell onto somebody's knees, and there was the most awkward roll-up I've ever seen. Almost D'Lo Browned it, yeah. And then he got rolled up, and that was the pin, and just he was quite mad. He was so over the Miz, wasn't he, in this match? Hometown boy. Almost feels like they've made... I mean, you kind of got to look through this as the prism of he was in his hometown, but it does very much feel like they've made the right call by turning Shane and not him, because nobody really cares about Shane McMahon as a babyface, do we? Nobody's invested in that. And at the same time, we've seen the Miz heel so many times, this doesn't feel like a good use of his heel work. So going forward to WrestleMania, the two of them are almost certainly going to have a singles match, maybe involving the Miz's really strange, kind of like Donald Trump in a Hall of Mirrors father. But he's now in the equation. Shane McMahon is going to potato that man half to death, and that will be, as predicted, our WrestleMania match. After that, of course, another title on the line, and another sort of breakup, another bit of crumbling relationship there, as Asuka took on Mandy Rose, and I will hold my hands up here. Mandy Rose was my pick to win this. I thought if they're going to spring any surprises on that card, it was going to be there. And oh boy, did I swing and miss that guess. Yeah, I didn't count the ring skirt. I don't think anybody did. Incidentally, probably what Vince McMahon called Mandy Rose at the minute. So we had a match. I thought she did quite well, Mandy Rose. I thought there was a couple of little I'm getting a look for saying that. I thought there was a couple of little sloppy moments, but by and large, she doesn't look as badly out of her depth as I think we all thought she was going to be when she started doing singles action. She was very much the third one in Absolution when she came up onto the main roster. But no, I think she holds her own, right? Mandy Rose holds it, yeah. But yeah, same. Yeah, I think insult and finish too. The idea was that Sonya Deville is attempting to cheat through the ring skirt into the ring to get a kendo stick out. Hey, Ken, your mate. Kendo stick. But left the, poor bit of housekeeping, left the ring skirt on the ring. Asuka throws Mandy Rose into the ropes. They said Mandy rope into the Rose there. She slips into a kick, which caught her flush in the goddamn cheek. If you get a chance to see the replay of this back, Jesus goddamn Christ. You know when you're in a car, boys, you all know this, and you go up a thing and down again, you get that woo in your balls. There'll be some technical term for that. You all know the thing I'm talking about, don't you? Where you do that, like, woo, me nuts. Watching that kick back, that's how that felt. So we don't know where Asuka's possibly going to go for WrestleMania now. They surely can't be building Lacey Evans still. They're going to do something dreadful with it. There doesn't feel like there's necessarily a rematch on the table here because obviously after the match, Sonya and Mandy Rose kind of fell out a bit. They didn't come to blows, but they fell out a bit. So if there's any story there, it's going to be there. Anyway, we move on. Kofi Kingston. Turns out he was summoned to the McMahon's office despite standing outside of it for an hour and not knocking. We're not really sure what went on there because he was getting inserted into the triple threat match that night. What everybody wanted, wasn't it? Kofi Kingston getting put in the triple threat match, and even better news, Kofi, it starts right now. So he gets himself down to the ring. Everyone's so happy, finally getting what we want. Although a bit of a weird call to put the WWE Championship on like 4th when there was so much to go. Of course, they weren't doing that, were they? The bar came out, and it was actually a triple threat match that was actually just a handicap match, and he got the absolute puke bitten out of him. And then the New Day came out to save him, despite them being banned from ringside, and they got cut off, didn't they, lads? Because the League of Nations 2.0 was there. Rusev, Nakamura, Sheamus, and Cesaro. What did Edge call him at Fastlane last year, or the year before? The International House of Dumbasses. That's kind of how that one felt. So we got no idea at this point what's actually going on with Kofi. It doesn't feel like he's part of the main event picture anymore. He doesn't feel like he's anywhere near the WWE Championship anymore, and he just got beaten up. Did anybody think this built him? It didn't really do anything for him, did it? It wasn't like he didn't look strong in defeat. He just got beaten up, and down the New Day looked like dicks. They were banned from ringside and they went down there, so this is all going to continue on SmackDown. Stay tuned to Simon Miller's ups and downs for that one. Anyway, after that, yet more tag team fun. Dear God, this was a long show, wasn't it? The Revival, Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson, were victorious. They retained their Raw Tag Team Championships against Chad Gable and Bobby Roode and Aleister Black and Ricochet. Now, did anybody have this down as anything other than Revival retain? Did we all want it to be Black and Ricochet? This soon? Quite right, well put. Yeah, but they retained. The match was genuinely really good. We pointed out halfway through it. This is genuinely 6 of the best performers NXT have ever had. And they were given a relatively generous 10 minutes, I think, given how 10:50. I can see it on the screen. I'm just trying to pretend like it was like a casual guess, ruining the illusion. Kayfabe it, mate. They are probably all They're not all going in the Andre. They're not all going in the Andre. Aleister Black and Ricochet, the Raw Tag Team Champions. Well, be that as may. The match was very good. I thought there was a couple of massive big spots in it. Ricochet quite badly botched a Hurricane Rana into a big pile of people, but everybody seemed okay, relatively safe. The match itself, I thought was very good. At that point, it felt like the pay-per-view was finally picking up in terms of in-ring action because everything had been a bit hit and missy up until that point. But it was good. We enjoyed it. We moved on. And then, right, so you may be wondering why I haven't talked about Rey Mysterio versus Andrade on the pre-show. Because they didn't do it. They just decided that they were going to do a fatal 4-way for the United States title and did that instead. So they threw them into that match. And can we call this match of the night? Yeah. Comfortably? Is it? Easily by a mile. Yeah, the 4 of them put on an absolutely sensational clinic of really good back and forward wrestling. It was really... Michael Hanford, you describe these matches better than I do. What was it good at?
This was great because Andrade and Rey was really great. It was all
teasery.
Joe Baxter's words. Joe's the hardest man in the world. Telling you that.
He finally looks like the destroyer they originally brought him on the roster to be, because being in the main event picture is all well and good, but if you're in the main event picture to lose, you don't look as good as if you do in the mid-card and you are winning. When you're a destroyer, when you're meant to be a conqueror, a genuinely big threat, you have to win matches no matter where they are on the show. And can I just say, I'm really happy they're doing this with R-Truth. Like, because this is a technical wrestler storyline they're doing. Joe's like he's a technical killer. Rey Mysterio is one of the most exciting performers. Almas had that 5-star match. And then there's R-Truth doing his John Cena cosplay gimmick, but he fits in it so well and he doesn't look out of place. He certainly wasn't the weak link here. And I even thought Zelina Vega and Carmella were excellent with the bits they added as well. I like the bit where they were breaking up the fight with the two ladies, like, oh shit, oh, he's gonna get pinned, he's gonna get pinned. So that was match of the night for us. But Samoa Joe retains. He goes on to WrestleMania for presumably another big multi-man match. Horriman the Andre, everybody's good. Cena, yeah, we think it probably could be Cena. That'll be quite nice. The Boss and Hug connection. I love Bayley. I love Sasha Banks. I love that they're doing women's tag team titles. I even love the title belts, even though I'm apparently in a bit of a minority on that one. But I absolutely hate every fibre of my being the name the Boss and Hug connection. But apparently I don't hate it as much as Nia Jax hates it. Because again, it's just, what does she do? Think you leave him without a concussion, do you, ladies? Well, Sasha threw Sasha Banks into the into the commentary table. Harder than, dear God, harder than a telling off from you, the first telling off from your stepfather. That's how brutal that was to watch. She cleared the table with Sasha Banks. Anyway, the match itself was, God, we were absolutely creased up with this at points, wasn't it? Like Tamina and Nia. I think they do. Hamflet pointed out to me something this week that Nia Jax is genuinely quite entertaining with the whole dismissing all of the criticism and all the fans with like a wave of a hand and a roll of the eyes. That is entertaining, but when you actually put her in the ring, her and Tamina are just so far beneath the level that all the other women are setting in that company now that it's just, you fear for them every time they go in there. Every little missed spot, every little slight. There was a bit where we're trying to set her up with a flipped up Samoan drop thing and then put her on a heat. But thankfully, the Boss and Hug connection retained in that match. They again go on to WrestleMania for, what do you think, guys? A big, messy, multi-opponent match. Get him in the Andre. Get everyone in. We're going to be in the flipping Andre at this rate. Finally, though, we then move on to the WWE Championship match. Daniel Bryan versus Kevin Owens. And as Vince McMahon promised, it was a triple threat match. Did we think Kofi was coming out? Yes. We were wrong. It was the returning Mustafa Ali. In a moment I can only describe as, why didn't that leak? It would have been absolutely sensational in my Rumours video. He's back now, he was put in the match, and you can't say without merit because in the build-up sort of towards the end of last year, the start of this year, he did get pinfalls over Daniel Bryan. He did have a genuine claim to be getting a title shot, and here it was. All anybody cared about was the fact that Kofi Kingston wasn't in this match. The crowd hijacked it pretty much straight away. There were boring chants, there were "We Want Kofi" chants. They did not give a, what's a good word I can use which isn't a swear word? They didn't give a toss about this match because Kofi wasn't in it. Now when you've got your heel champion who was doing some of the best work of his career, a big fat old tweener who no one's sure what to do with, and the formerly super hot face Mustafa Ali, don't want all three of them getting booed out of the building. Now, admittedly, the match itself had some great spots in it. It's probably the only other match I could say was a contender for match of the night. But that was, yeah. God, how do I top that? The finish of it was great. It had some amazing spots. The finish itself, Bryan catching Mustafa Ali doing a backflip midair with a running knees, was absolutely incredible. It did get the crowd back on side slightly towards the end, but they were still just really annoyed that Kofi wasn't in it. And they've handled this so badly. Like if you're gonna give us the Mania match with Kofi at WrestleMania, why get him involved in all this stuff tonight? Why get him beaten down by the League of Nations? Why make it another McMahon storyline? Why bring Vince into this? We've already got Steph and Triple H kind of in the whole Ronda, Charlotte, Becky Lynch thing. Why is it we've got to have another WrestleMania main event with them involved? But I digress. Daniel Bryan retains. He goes forward to WrestleMania for, we presume, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal? Yeah, I think so. Hell of a battle royal in my opinion. Anyway, next we got Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair. If Becky Lynch wins, she is inserted into the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Now, we've all been excited about this. They've been dragging this story out since November, pretty much, haven't they? I think the moment Nia Jax potatoed Becky Lynch in the face and took her out in the Survivor Series match, that's kind of when we knew we were going to get this triple threat. That's what started to make sense. The pieces fell into place. The match with Charlotte was excellent. They finally committed to Becky's face turn, allowing Charlotte to go heel, and this is what everybody wanted. Well, a lot of people say they didn't want this, but pretty much everybody, this is how we wanted them to do this match if they are going to do a women's triple threat. And yet, somehow, in the last few weeks, they've just over-egged it, haven't they? Becky Lynch doesn't still need to have a knee injury, and she is still limping around and having to fight against the odds. And then I don't know what this finish was. Ronda Rousey runs down that ramp like, I mean, it wasn't the worst running we saw all night, was it? Forgot to mention that. I'll come back to that in a bit. She comes down the thing. She goes to punch Becky Lynch in the chest, but misses her by a clear foot, and the referee disqualifies her, and that is Becky winning the match and thus inserted into a triple threat match. Yeah, as Ronda Rousey points out, wrestling is indeed... Maybe that was her point. Maybe she was missing it because it was fake. I don't know. I don't really sure what they've done with this. They've kind of stretched out the goodwill we all had for this match and just made it a little bit too much now. They've just... I don't know how to describe it. They've made a nice cake and then they've put the whipped cream on it and then there was the cherry on top, but now sprinkled, now hundreds of thousands, now a whole different flavour of glaze, and it's just... Look, I just wanted the cake. I had the cake. I can't even pick this up now. It's falling to bits in my hands, you idiots.
So much cake.
Too much cake, but hell of a cake though.
Hell of a cake.
And then that took us forward to the main event. I really liked it. Yay. The more I think about it, it was just, if that is going to be the last time they have the Shield together, it was beautiful, wasn't it? It was great. As Hamflett's already pointed out, there were callbacks to all their early matches. There were little teasers about things they could do in the future. Roman, you said, was wearing his original Shield attire. They were all dressed like the first time, and it was just, there was no turn, there was no gimmick, there was no angle they were trying to work here. This was just about Roman Reigns' return to a WWE ring. And hey, I tell you what, mind, to have gone through what he's been through the last couple of months and come back like that is sensational. I assume, hell of a comeback, hell of a man, hell of a guy. Exactly. Get him in the Andre. Well, they might have to at this rate. I thought this match was going to be long, drawn out, all building up to Roman getting the hot tag. Lots of rest holds. A few people in the comments called it basically just a Raw, just a television match without commercial breaks. I thought that's how it was going to be, but it built and it built and it built and it built, and when they finally all spilled out of the ring and it turned into more of a brawl, and we stopped trying to do count-outs, referee. Is that Chad Patton? Yeah. I'm gonna make him eat his own teeth when I see him. Nice beard. Nice beard. Nice belt. It spilled out the ring, big brawl, and it just became genuinely really exciting. Rollins flew off the what even is it? Not the barricade, the railing that was like halfway up the bloody arena, and Ambrose looked, I mean, they didn't even try and tease him doing a heel turn. It was purely about Roman coming back in the ring. And I saw somebody on Twitter saying it was like a house show match, just turned up to 11, and it was, which is a weird way to end your last pay-per-view before going into WrestleMania. I will grant you, it does feel like, storyline-wise, we should be a lot further on than we are tonight, but there we are. We ended with the Shield getting the win, Roman getting the pin, all three of them standing in the middle of the ring. Seth Rollins goes forward to face Brock Lesnar in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. What Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns do, other than the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, maybe they'll be in the Not Moolah Battle Royal, just to mix it up a bit. Dean wrestled Nia this year, didn't he? Anything could happen. But, as ever, we are, of course, far more interested to know what you thought about all of this. So let us know in the comments below, and of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you to everybody who joined us on the live stream. Hell of a live stream. That was an open goal, that one, guys. Thank you very much.
Hell of a live stream.
That's much more like it. Anyway, though, in the meantime, though, thank you very much for watching. Have, of course, been Adam Clery. This was what went down. And I'll see you soon. I'm going to bed now, though. Bye.